कटोरी
नहीं पाव भाजी
पाव
पाव भाजी था पाव भाजी बोल रहा हूँ वड़ा पाव सॉरी एक का डबल ही was selling. Then next in Shivaji the boss, while making a deal with Adiseshan to not disclose his scam to IT department, Shivaji orders something. And after the deal is finalized, he asks Adiseshan to pay for it and cut the amount.
It's something taken with chai. I don't remember the name. It was like a fan or something like that.
Oh, anyone? So it was Mirchi Pakoda. Has anyone watched the movie?
We have, but
I have. Haven't watched back in a while.
Okay, let's begin with the meeting. So that while people keep joining, I'll read the mission statement and the rules to conduct the meeting more efficiently. So, good evening, everyone. I welcome all of you to the 298th meeting of Toastmasters Club of Speaking and Leadership. You are now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting, and as such, a few rules apply. Number 1, please ensure you are on mute if you are not speaking. Number 2, please refrain from any behavior that might distract a person while speaking unless the person specifically asks you for interaction. Number 3, if you are going to talk about religion, politics, or sex, you need to do it in a manner that does not offend anyone. Number 4, this being an online meeting, please focus on the speaker. Think of this as a test for your listening skills. Number 5, try to keep your video on throughout the meeting to make the meeting more lively. Now I will recite the Toastmasters Club mission statement. We provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to call upon our dedicated and motivating presiding officer, our Toastmaster Harshita Arora. Over to you, Toastmaster Harshita.
Hey, thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohit. It was definitely a wonderful start of the meeting on a light note. So I love the innovation that you bring in the meeting. So thank you so much for that. Now, today we have one guest who somehow looks like Ranveer Singh. Hello, Giriraj. Can you just give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Giriraj, and I'm a Toastmaster. It's been, I think, 2 years that I'm into the journey, but due to some time constraint, I have not been able to give some speeches. I used to live in Dubai, so I'm a member of Keynote Toastmaster, which is in Dubai only. And these days I have been living in Jaisalmer, came back to India. So I'm looking for some of the opportunities where I have time. So I love to join some of the meetings. So recently I was browsing something and I got to know about this meeting. So I joined because I love being surrounded by Toastmasters.
This is great. Thank you so much for joining. It's our honor that you joined our meeting, and I hope you enjoy the experience here with all of us. We have a lot of engaging activity planned for everybody who's joining our meeting. So thank you so much. Now, while we wait for everybody to join, because it's my favorite topic, it's about food. Let's just talk a little bit about food. What say?
Absolutely.
All right, let's just. I will not spoil Toastmaster of the day's session, so I will just randomly ask what we ate today. Anybody want to tell about their breakfast, lunch? What was exciting? Mine was very exciting. I went to this wonderful place that's called Cafe Lota. And Thursdays are my favorite day, so I thought let's make it interesting from the beginning. So I went to this cafe. It was amazing. They serve really nice chai. And I call it chai because chai and tea are different. So chai is like desi chai that you make on, handmade flame wala chai. So I had that, and then the vada pav, ragi vada pav, somehow something healthy I was eating in the morning. That's something I ate, and that made my day. And I was just eating right before the meeting as well, as you all know that how big of a foodie I am. Rohit was just asking where it all goes. I will tell you later on. All right. Anybody else want to talk about their? Yes, we have Jaggravi.
Like to actually, I had sushi for the second time yesterday, and I had hated it the first time I had it, but yesterday when I had it, it was so delicious. I was so surprised that I did like it, and I think right now I'm drinking coffee, and I'm a great coffee.
Oh,
If
this
you
looks
have-
good.
We do have offline meetings. I'll treat you to good coffee.
Yeah, we are going to have one soon, so just be ready, Jaggravi. And same here, my first sushi experience was pathetic. I literally took this much of wasabi with my sushi and just it hit me so hard. I was like, it is something that's gonna kill me real soon. And I could not try it again for a very long time. But now I have a little confidence that I might go for another round and see how it goes. So thank you so much for sharing it.
Is sushi veg?
Yeah, it's.
We have veg as well, yes.
I'm vegetarian. I'm a vegetarian.
Great. Okay, we have another vegetarian. Now, Purva, I think Purva wants to go next.
I was saying even I am vegetarian, but
Great.
my meals today were sort of very boring. I had my smoothie in the morning, then I had my diet food like in the lunch. I had soya paneer,
Fitness freak.
and then yeah, fitness is my passion. And then I had dal and I had coffee as well, and yeah, that's about
Rohit
it.
must be happy listening to that. At least we have some people who follow the fitness diet and everything. And I think I'm a little bit motivated by you because, just try making me eat healthy all the time. You will fail. All right. Toastmaster Rohit, do you want to talk about what did you eat today? We really want to hear from the fitness coach what he eats in a day.
I'm sorry, guys. I missed something. Actually, I got a call. Whenever you talking about this topic, so I got a call. So I missed whatever.
No worries. We are just asking, what did you eat? What is your typical diet in a day, Toastmaster Rohit? That's what we want to know because you are a fitness coach. So we want to get some motivation and some tips from you.
There is nothing like special. I eat roti sabji and Indian typical food, curd and buttermilk, milk and rice. That's it. That's all I eat.
This is a good diet, in fact. Thank you so much. Anybody else? We have our guest, Giriraj. Do you want to tell us what did you eat this morning or maybe in the lunch?
Yeah, it was previously my grandmother made potato and peas curry, but later my sister took it and burn it out, so it was vanished. So gradually she has to make another food for me. So she made I don't know in other states if you made it's papad, which is like a roasted papad. You might have tasted that along with buttermilk, and we make it curry. So that along with the roti, so chapati.
Nice.
That's what I had.
Curry is one of my favorite things. Toastmaster is saying something.
I had litti chokha yesterday.
Wow, great.
Just wanted to try
the
how
kind
it
of Arpit
tastes like.
with garlic chutney and then lati chokha, and I don't know, he sent the whole cuisine, and that's I think very famous in Bihar, right?
Rajasthan.
Yeah.
I
Rajasthan.
googled it as
Oh,
soon
yeah.
as he.
No, it is
as soon
bati
as I got
chokha in
that text, I
Rajasthan.
googled, okay, what is this?
There's a difference between
Dal
bati
bati
and litti.
churma.
Bati chokha. Bati chokha churma
Dal
is
bati
different.
churma.
Right.
That lesson ki
There's a
chutney in Rajasthan, it's, oh God.
Indian food are best.
Oh man, it can actually, you get smoke from your ears. It's so
Mumbai street food and Indian food are
Aditi,
best.
you and I are definitely going for our momos trip because
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Ishan, do you mind checking if we have all the role players, and can you just quickly check if they're joining?
I'm talking to some of them are joining 5 or 10 minutes,
Okay.
and I'm talking.
Aditi
Hello?
told me that she will join late.
Okay. We have Toastmaster Chintan from Gurgaon Club joining us today. Hey, Toastmaster Chintan, and now that you are here, can you give a brief introduction once again?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. And as Toastmaster Harshita mentioned, I'm Toastmaster Chintan NP Sheth, and my home club is Eloquent Toastmasters Club, and I serve in the capacity of VP Education. As we are talking about food today, I just want to share something that after 1.5 months, I just landed today in Gurgaon. So entire day I did not eat anything from this north side. I had eaten everything which I had packed from my hometown. So I savored all the Gujarati snacks, whatever I have gathered today. Over to you, Harshita.
Thank you so much. We are having our Gujarati girl joining us soon, Toastmaster Disha, and then we can talk more about the Gujarati. What do we call it in that movie? The name, bomb-like name, the Gujarati dishes that we say in Three Idiots.
Kakra, dhokla, fafda.
I had brought 4
Three
kgs
Idiots.
of snacks. 4 kgs only for few of the friends because they are repeat. They always order for that, and everything
Which
I
flavor?
get is made from my mom, so it has the authentic taste. Yeah.
Which flavor?
I thought we already are friends. I didn't receive anything yet.
अरसी के लड्डू बहुत सही होते हैं.
Nice.
And I have to take care a lot because 3 to 4 kg snacks would be there, so I had to take care and compensate with my luggage.
Next time you do not go with any luggage, just bring back all whatever you can. This is
Sure.
great. All right, we have guest Merush joining us. Hey Merush, do you mind sharing a brief introduction?
Hello. Am I visible?
If you can just turn off this virtual background, then it'll be.
Yeah.
Yes, now we can see you.
Okay. So hello everyone. I'm no more a guest now. I have joined a club, a Toastmaster club. Week to lead. It's on Tuesday. It runs on a Wednesday. So I have joined that, and I came here to meet you all, to know you more, and to make more friends.
This is great. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you like the experience, and by the end of the meeting, you have a few friends, you have few numbers. So just keep enjoying the meeting and stay joining. And I wish you all the best for your Toastmaster journey now that you have joined the club.
Thank you.
All right, let's begin. So I welcome you all to the 298th meeting of Toastmasters. We are soon to achieve our 300 meeting milestone, which is a great achievement, and kudos to all of us who have been making this this club successful. And today we have we do not have our newest member joining us, but I can tell you that we have somebody joined Toastmaster this week. His name is Sushant. He'll be joining us in the next meeting, and we'll welcome him then. And the other announcement that we need to make today is that we have two debutantes. Firstly, we have Toastmaster Purva making a debut as an evaluator, and we have Toastmaster excuse me, Aditi Das as Toastmaster of the day. So I wish you all the very best. And regarding our offline meeting, we checked with all of you through a poll, a form, that which meeting would you like to prefer. So we have received, most of us want online and offline mixed experience. So we are going to go ahead with that. And we are soon launching another poll to know your preference of the day, because we want to continue our online meeting for everybody who is joining us from different states. So that's what we are planning, but we will keep you updated on that. And with that, I want to hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the day. She says her first love is teaching, and because of that, when we do something that we love, we grow in that career really fast. So Toastmaster Aditi has taken various roles in the line of international schooling. She has taken a role of teacher trainer, parent coordinator, and she has been supporting learners and parents across all the continents and country. I wish you all the best for your journey. And as far as her interest concerned, she loves music, dancing, and chilling out with her friends. Now she's she's coming as Toastmaster of the Day with a very interesting theme, and I am very excited to hear more about extra fries or exercise. Now over to you, Toastmaster Aditi. But before that, I would like to take a quick screenshot if everybody can come on camera. Thank you. And what gesture would you like us to make Toastmaster Aditi? This victory? Anything? Oh. Or I'm taking the screenshot, so I cannot do that, but it's just. Thank you so much, everyone. That's done. Now, over to you, Toastmaster Aditi.
Thank you so much, President Manya, and a very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and your guests. Welcome to the 298th meeting, which has a food-based theme, and the name of the meeting is Extra Fries or Exercise. But before I go ahead with the role, I'd like to first tell you a little about the structure of the meeting. So the meeting has been divided in 3 parts. Firstly, we'll have 2 speakers, after which we'll be having the table topic session. And lastly, we have the general evaluation section. So I hope all of you are quite excited about the meeting. And now, so has this thought come to you when you see Maggie or you want to go for muesli? Because I usually have breakfast as muesli, but when Maggie is there, I totally cannot divert my attention there. So what about pasta or maybe sorted veggies? What do you think? Would anybody go for sorted veggies instead of pasta?
I will go for sorted veggies. I recently
Really?
got it now.
Oh, wow.
Got over love.
I'm training
Yeah.
these days.
If you
that's
make
nice.
it with it with a lot of spice and Indian spices, right?
No
Eventually you will
spices,
start.
no spices.
Then
No, I'm backing out them.
Still veggies.
Right. So that's what I want to say is that extra fries or exercise, it's a very tough call to make. For a lot of us, if you check out your Instagram, maybe everybody is there on Instagram, right? Yeah. So no. Okay. All right. For those people who are there on Instagram, if you check your explore page, do you see food a lot, or do you see models or actors? What do you see? What do you come across often?
Models.
Models. Okay, Purva comes up with models. What about Jagravi? What about you?
A lot of traveling destinations, actually.
Really? Okay, that's good. Okay, anybody else?
get a lot of food preferences.
Food. Okay. And if you check out your Instagram, the follower list, the pages or the people you follow, is it mostly food bloggers or is it mostly actors or maybe models or something that's quite appealing? What comes a lot?
Meme pages.
Yes, exactly. I don't really follow food bloggers, but they somehow come up in my reels.
Correct, exactly. We usually tend to follow actors, actresses. You yourself can see that the percentage of actors, actresses, or models, or even influencers for that matter, we tend to follow them more instead of food bloggers or just food, right? So that's what, but yes, food is something which we absolutely love. I mean, junk food especially. Talking about my own self, I love momos. I literally crave for it every single day, right? So every one of us here has that point where, that craving for a particular food that we absolutely cannot leave, right? So that's the kind of challenge. How do you motivate yourself to just leave that junk food and switch over to a healthier option? Can anybody come up with some ideas for doing that, or anybody had some kind of experience where they probably made a transition? Nishtha, yes.
So when I started eating more vegetables, so I started with making them tasty. Like I used to add more vegetables and less pasta. So I am eating more vegetables and the quantity of pasta is very less, but I am also having something tasty. So I am going to have it every day. And that was my goal. I completely eliminated chapati from one meal and I started making these dishes like wheat noodles or some wheat pasta and something like that, or something from ragi or jawar, etc. And that was one thing that changed my routine and everything.
Wow, that's a really good idea. So that's really good. Somebody else want to say something? How did you transition? Yeah, Rohit.
I didn't transition. I was already slim since birth, but
Okay.
but yeah, but I
Right.
don't follow these kinds of diets and all. I think that humans are created to eat everything, so they should eat everything only in the limited quantity. They should eat only till the gut, not above
Right.
that. So yeah, I eat everything till my gut, everything, and I play a lot. I don't believe in exercising and these things, so I play a lot.
Right.
I play every sport and I overdo it till I sweat and I lie down on the ground. Till then I play.
That's
So
good.
yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
anyway,
what
you
I
have
follow.
somewhat exactly. So you have got that. Even if you're not gymming, because even I'm not a sports person. I don't like gymming. And trust me, there was a time when I literally had no option but to go to gym because it was my cousin's wedding and I had to look the best, right? So that was something which motivated me to kind of follow a diet. And yes, one very important thing, I realized that only exercising is not going to get you anywhere, right? So you have to kind of have a healthy lifestyle. So I tried gymming for a month, but during that duration, I remember that I used to kind of have my cheat days and I used to have fads. I used to have these peri peri fries and all that stuff. It wasn't working out. And then the next 15 days, I had a personal trainer who just asked me to leave all the carbs. He asked me to ditch fats. It was really tough, but within 10 or 15 days, I shrunk. It was not a good transition, I would say, because it was extremely, it was a little too much. But yes, I realized that yes, eating healthy does not necessarily mean that you cut down on everything, but yes, you can have alternate options, right? So with that, I'll tell you some kind of alternatives for what we really love. For example, gulab jamuns, right? We all love gulab jamuns. So do you think what kind of alternative could be there? Anybody make some guess? Not synthetic ones. No synthetic things.
Balushahi.
Okay.
I think you can
Jaggery.
Yeah, jaggery. We can
Okay.
use jaggery instead of sugar.
Right. Anybody else? What about gajar ka halwa? You can use gajar ka halwa, right? It's very nutritious. It's as yummy as gulab jamun, right? So you can definitely use that. And what about noodles? What do you think an alternative could be there for noodles?
Vermicelli.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes, vermicelli.
That's nice. Great.
Because I just ate it.
Right. And you also like khichdi, I know that. That's good. Okay, so well, that brings me to our first speech of the day. And before I call upon the speaker on the screen, I would like to call the evaluator for the speakers, for our speaker number one, Ishant Taneja's, Toastmaster Ishant's speech. So I'd
Yeah,
like to.
Sorry to interrupt. We
Yeah.
missed the structure of the meeting.
I did that in the beginning.
Okay, then I missed.
You can call the auxiliary role player.
Introduction of auxiliary
All right.
role players.
Right. So I'm really sorry about that. Okay, so I'd like to call upon our the pillars of our meeting, the auxiliary role players. So let me begin with the timer of the day. Can we please have TM Arvind Chauhan?
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Aditi Das. Hi everyone. I am the timer of the day. I am responsible to keep track of the time of the various speakers and the role players. Just let me share my screen and sorry, I'm using this Mac first time, so I'm not allowed to access my laptop. Yes. So we have two speakers, and we are. Everyone is allotted 5 to 7 minutes for the speeches, and I will show green card on 5th minute, amber after 6 minutes, and I will show red card after 7 minutes. There's a grace period of 30 seconds on the either side. For the table topic session, everyone is provided with 1 minute, where I will show 1 to 2 minutes, and after 1 minute I will show a green card. After 1 minute 30 seconds I will show amber card, and after 2 minutes I will show a red card. And there is a grace period of 30 seconds on the either side. For evaluators, we have 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 minutes we will be showing a green card. After 2 minutes 30 seconds we will be showing the amber card, and after 3 minutes we will show the red card. For the table topic masters, again, we have 2 to 3 minutes of time. After 2 minutes, we will show the green card. After 2 minutes, 30 we have 1 to 2 minutes for the evaluation, where after 1 minute we will show a green card. After 1 minute 30 seconds we will show the amber card, and after 2 minutes we will show the red card. And this is the format of the card displays that we have. Now, thank you everyone. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arvind. Next up, I'd like to somebody wants
I was
to
just
say.
saying I will post this on the text chat also.
Sorry, I couldn't get it.
Okay, I was saying I will post this numbers on the chat box.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Arvind. Next up on the screen, I'd like to call our counter, Toastmaster Jagruvi. Please come up and if you could elaborate on your role.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Let me just present my screen. And okay, so I'm the counter of the day. Vocal disinfluences, commonly described as filler words, are a common point of contention in public speaking. Some people disparage them as weak and hesitant, while others defend them as authentic and confident. These vocal disinfluences can be further segregated into filler sounds like and filler words like well, okay, so, like, basically, and filler phrases. Just a second. Filler phrases like, I know that you know what I'm trying to say. I mean, believe me. So let's first talk about why not to use these filler, the bad usage of these filler words. I just used them twice. I'm so sorry about that. So first, it diminishes your credibility. For instance, when you say, I think, it can show that you are not an expert. It devalues your opinion. For instance, when you say, I'm way off base, or just, you're underestimating, you're undermining your own argument. Where you say sorry too much, you're undermining your own authority. Finally, using a lot of filler words can show a lack of preparation. For instance, when you use a lot, it seems to show that you are that you are not prepared that much, even though that is not the case. So my advice for that to you and to me right now will be to slow down, become aware, pause, and stick to small sentences. Today, I will keep a check on this and I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you so much.
Wow, Toastmaster Jagраvi, I must say that was quite insightful. Thank you so much. Next up on, I'd like to call our grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Bhupesh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditi. So a very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and our guests today. So I'm the grammarian of the day. As a grammarian, my job is to evaluate your usage of words, adverbs, adjectives, noun, pronouns, and everything else that you speak. So I'll make a note of any incorrect usage which is out there, and I'll submit my report at the end when called by the general evaluator. Right now, I would also like to present the word for the day, that is nascent. It is, I'll also put this in the group chat. So it is spelled as Nascent. Nascent, it's pronounced as nascent. So it means early stage, when something is at its early stage, or freshly generated, or something that has just come in existence. For example, artificial intelligence is no longer in its nascent stages now, and everybody should know how it works. So that is one example. Again, I will put this in the chat. The idiom of the day is no news is good news. No news is good news. It means if you have not heard a negative news which you hoped to not to hear, so if you have not heard a contrary news, so it means it has not happened. For example, if your boss tells you that if you are fired tomorrow, then I'll give you a call. And if you do not get any call from your boss, then it means no news, it is good news, which would mean that you have not been fired. Congratulations. That's all I had to share at the moment. Over to you, Toastmasters Aditi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhupesh, for elaborating on your role. Next up, I'd like to call our riddle master of the day, who's Toastmaster Harsh Arora. So please, the screen is all yours.
Toastmaster Aditi, this role will be taken by Toastmaster Rohit, who will be introduced towards the general evaluation section.
Okay, all right. And I'd like to now call upon our president who's playing the role of the table topics evaluator. So, Madam President, if you could come up on the screen and help us understand about your role.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditi. I must say that you have done a great job on the TMOD, keeping us engaged regarding the food. I love it. I'm getting a lot of tips. And hello everyone, I am the table topic evaluator of the day. That means in the second section, when we will have table topics, where we try some impromptu speaking, I'll be evaluating those impromptu speeches. I'll be sharing what did you do good, and what are the scope of improvement with you towards the end of the meeting in the general evaluation section. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Aditi.
Thanks a lot, President. And now we come to one of the most exciting parts of our evening, which is the speech. So I'd like to call upon the screen our speaker, the first speaker of the day, Toastmaster Ishan Taneja. But before calling him, I'd like to call upon his evaluator. So if I could.
I am his evaluator.
Purva. Yeah, Toastmaster Purva.
Okay. Toastmaster Ishan is delivering his level 2 project 1 speech of Pathways Presentation Mastery. And the objective of this project is for the member to learn about various communication styles and to identify the speaker's primary communication style. Toastmaster Ishan has specifically asked me to be vigilant of his hand gestures. And all the best, Toastmaster Ishan. You're gonna rock it. Back to you, Aditi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Purva. Indeed, he's gonna rock. So here you go, Toastmaster Ishan. Utterly butterly delicious. Utterly butterly delicious, Toastmaster Ishan. The screen is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. How many of you are big food lovers? Let's have a show of hands. I can see so many hands, and I'm glad to be one of them. Thank you so much for that. There are two categories of people. One of them are those who eat to live, and the other ones are those who live to eat. And thankfully, being a born Punjabi and also coupled with that, a born Delhiite, I belong to the second category. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. And food is love. Love is food. Can we all foodies agree to this? Whenever I am sad, angry, or frustrated, I eat to calm myself down. When I am happy, even then I eat. So the things I like, because I want to treat myself for all the work I've done. From momos to pizza to golgappe, I have an ilk for each and every kind of food. It's time to test the food knowledge of all the people present here. Well, for all the Delhiites out there, I have a question for you. How many of you know about the famous Dolma Auntie Momos? Do you know where it is located in? Anyone can unmute and tell.
Lajpat Nagar.
Correct answer. Correct answer, you foodies. But let me tell you a cool fact. There's actually another branch of the same momo stall present in another location in Delhi. Now, this is the main question, and I want to know the answer. Oh, yes. I'm surprised, honestly, that you all know this. But yes, that's what being a foodie makes you. You know everything about good places to eat. Be it that tasty that chaat wala in a gully in Rohini, or that secret bread pakora stall in Malviya Nagar that no one knows about. We foodies know everything. That utterly butterly delicious Amul butter that gets sprayed upon so many kulcha chola stalls around here is a lovely sight for me as a foodie. Well. The person you were talking to is a 2019 version of myself. Back when I was preparing for my JEE in class 12th, I was this foodie. I was a junk food enthusiast. In between my preparation breaks, there was only one escape for me: food, and that one also junk food. It was the only escape for me when I was just angry at those thick modules and thick coaching books. I was ordering junk food daily at one point through Swiggy or Zomato. I was just eating and eating and eating without thinking about what effects it would have upon myself. From eating honey chili potatoes or that butter naan and shahi paneer from my favorite stall, I was having them all. After my schooling got over, one day I went to school to get my mark sheets and certificates. It was when I had just got into college, and I met one of my old friends, and he said, "Bro, tu itna mota kaise ho gaya?" Or in other words, "Bro, how have you gained so much weight?" And I was numb. I had no answers. I just gave him a weird smile, and that was the only answer I had for that. Reaching home, I realized there was something wrong going on with me. I hopped upon the weighing scale, and the meter jumped at a number. That number was 112. Yes, 112 kilograms for an 18-year-old kid. That was a shock. I was not expecting it. I could not fathom how much weight I had gained in that past year. I had to make amends. And I decided to start following diets, go to the gym, and work my body out. And I was very rigid this time. Also, going into the nascent stage of my college life with a century in my weight rather than a century in a cricket game was something I wasn't really proud of. With the eating habits I had inculcated, it was very tough for me. I had to change what I was eating. I had to give my all, and I gave it. 2 years and 26 kilograms later, I am a bit older, wiser, and a little bit healthier as well. You know, I know that there's still a long way to go. I have to lose a lot of weight as right now as well, but I'm not as careless about what I eat as I was back then. I am more cautious about what I eat now. And even if I overeat sometimes, I try to balance it with regular exercise. I try to keep my diet in control even when I don't work out that much. We are living in 2022 now. And with the onset of the pandemic upon us, we really need to work upon our health. Obesity is a bane. It can have a detrimental impact on your body. It can lead to various diseases like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and even diabetes in the long run. So, keeping your health in check is the need of the hour. We need to be cautious about how much we eat in, and we also have to keep a track of our calories. There are so many fitness tracking apps available, like MyFitnessPal or Healthify Me app, which really helped in my journey. And I would recommend this to everyone to have them in their devices because calorie tracking is a very helpful way of keeping your fitness goals in check. With regular exercise and calorie tracking, I'm pretty sure everyone can achieve their goals, be it weight gain or it weight loss. At the end, I would like to say there's a saying that time and health are two precious assets that we don't really recognize and appreciate until they are depleted. Thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Wow, Toastmaster Shan, that was not only an amazing speech, but it was so much insightful. You gave us a lot of tips. Thank you so much. Well, okay, so how many of you are satisfied with the way you look? Like, as in the way your body is, or how many of you? Okay, I see one person. Is there anybody else? No? Nobody? So we all want to kind of be a better version of ourselves physically, right? Yeah. So that's the reason why it's very important for us to have, like I said, to have an alternative of the junk that we are consuming, but also to maintain a healthy lifestyle. It's important that we engage in various physical activities. Because of the pandemic, of course, things have been restricted for us so much that we literally don't get up from our seats and if you're working, you don't get up before 13-14 hours. That's the minimum thing that that everybody experiences. So talking about it, I'd like to tell you some quick tips about how you can kind of without making more efforts, how can you motivate yourself into healthy eating and as well as a little bit of exercising. So first of all, you set small measurable goals that will help you get your overall large goal. For example, if I eat 5 servings of fruit and vegetables in a day, I would incorporate leafy vegetables also, just like Toastmaster Nishtha said, right? So we are going to do it bit by bit and slowly. The next thing, would anybody else like to give up some quick tip before we move on to the next speech? Okay, so maybe let's see anybody's hand. No. All right. So maybe we can also keep a food and exercise journal. And just like Toastmaster Ishan said, we can download a few apps which are really helpful. So making a journal would be helpful because you can track about yourself. We really don't get a lot of time, but yes, taking 5 minutes of your day and practicing it at least for 20 days, that helps you build up the routine. So that is what we are gonna do here. So I hope these small tips would help you go a long way. And next, I'd like to call upon the screen our next speaker of the day, Toastmaster Nishtha. But before her, I'd like to call upon the evaluator of Nishtha's speech, Toastmaster Aditi Munga. So Toastmaster Aditi, the screen is all yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Aditi again. So yes, I'm going to evaluate a speech today, which will be delivered by Toastmaster Nishtha. And the purpose of this project for Nishtha is to practice a story within a speech or give a speech which is a story. So Toastmaster Nishtha is either going to come up with a very personal story or fiction. So we are having our fingers crossed because it's going to be a very good speech for us, all of us. So along with general parameters like clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, I'm going to focus upon two important parameters, which are impact and pace, whether the story had an intended impact and whether it was well paced. So it was which would make it more effective. So with this, all the very best, Nishtha, for your upcoming project. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditi Munga. You look very beautiful today. I really cannot take my eyes off you, and a lot of people too. So, all right. Thank you so much for introducing Toastmaster Nishtha's topic. And now I'd like to call upon the screen Toastmaster Nishtha. She's going to present a pathways of effective coaching, and Toastmaster Nishtha, love is the answer. Love is the answer. Toastmaster Nishtha, over to you.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. What a human being has become, for he is swayed by his petty desires and instincts. For this, he even kills, mistreats, and do greedy deeds. And I think we have touched a rock bottom. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. For the past 2 years in lockdown, I could not help but ask myself that what makes me unique or what makes our life special? Do I even hold any power? Or what does it even mean to be called a human being? But before I could reach all those answers, I had to live the lessons to understand them. And let me take you back in time to share two stories which were life-changing and has made me the person I am today. 2 years back, me and my best friend, we had a huge fight. And while we both were struggling in our own ways, she had lost her father, and I had lost her because of that huge fight. And I was the one left alone thinking what had happened, or I was the one who was mourning that friendship we had. And that was the time I had these questions I mentioned earlier, and I was so curious to find the answer. Fast forward 1 year later, when the world was struggling through the second wave, I also went through the same struggle. Something again came up. And this time I was shattered and numb. I lost my grandmother. And I still remember the night when I was constantly checking her oxygen levels with a doctor on a video call. My father had a fever and I had not changed my clothes for 3 days straight. And that emotional turbulence that was going on within me, I could not explain it to anyone. That all of it was very strange because I had a very strange relationship with my grandmother, and the emotions I was experiencing were all clashing with each other. My grandmother always used to poke me for something, and I used to get angry, run to my mother, and complained about it. I had never seen her beyond her orthodox thinking or her rigidness. She was always like this. But that day, something changed. I was only filled with love. That my heart opened barely. And I was filled with love and fear at the same time, two conflicting emotions. And I was just praying that, please, God, make everything right. While all of this was going on, I was sitting beside her, and all of these questions suddenly started coming to me. That you should have talked to her more, that you should have asked her why she is the way she is. Or maybe you should have asked her why didn't she share with you more about her life, why she is so quiet and she's like this, that. While I was thinking all of it, in a second, in a second, she went away. And I was sitting there, I was numb, and I was left with all these questions. The fact that crushed me was when the people are with us, we never come up with the ways we can mend our relationships with them. But when they leave us or break, and like it was in the case of my friend, we always come up with the ways we could have mended our relationships. And that is because our ego never let us see beyond the veils of illusion, and hence depriving us of the gift of love. I'll just repeat, depriving us from the gift of love. To quote Mr. Ratan Tata, if you want to go fast, walk alone. If you want to go far, walk together. That is the beauty of relationships, belongingness, community, collaboration, that it even helps you to succeed in many folds. We are approximately 8 billion books walking around. And I wonder how many of us are curious to read those books. Book of people. And if any one of us would be interested, then the biggest problem of our planet would be solved. That is, people being sad or lonely. And I remember this quote from my favorite movie, Dead Poets Society, which goes like, that human race is filled with passion, that medicine, law, engineering, all are noble pursuits and are required to sustain life. But love, poetry, romance, laughter, that is what we stay alive for. And if you're wondering if I got my answers, yes, love is the answer. And it is the people in our life and their love that makes the movie of our life special, magical. And we hold immense power. We hold the power to create stories, share stories, and leave a legacy behind for our future generations to come. I realized being loving is being human, and love is the only answer. Thank you. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Well, Toastmaster Nisha, that was, I must say that I almost had goosebumps. I think we all could feel it. So yeah, it was really good. All right, so with that, I'd like the Tech Master to launch polls for the best table topic speaker. For the best speaker, sorry. Okay, so is it done? All right, so shall we move ahead? Okay, so with this, I'd like to give the screen to our table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Harshvardhan. So, Toastmaster Harshvardhan, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guests. I am the table topic master of the day. The purpose of this section is to facilitate the guests and the member with an opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking. I will introduce a topic and call on speaker who will be given 2 minutes to speak on the subject. Here are a few things to keep in mind for the session. To ensure that everyone gets a fair chance in the meeting, I will initially prioritize the guests and member without a role to speak on the provided table topic. The time limit for a table topic speech is 1 to 2 minutes, and we have a grace period of 30 minutes on the upper side, which means that you have to speak of a minimum of 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes and 30 seconds to be eligible for the voting. To get the table topic speech award, the timer will show the green card on 1 minute, yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. So I have mentioned the rules in my slide as well. You can see from the slide. So the first person I would like to call is Toastmaster Manya. So Toastmaster Manya, your topic is this. Which type of cuisine is your favorite and why? Which type of cuisine is your favorite and why? Toastmaster Manya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Harshvardhan, for just making me come alive in the meeting again. Okay, so which type of cuisine do I favorite? Is my favorite. So I would say it's the Indian cuisine because I'm a much fan about Indian systems and the way we way we prepare food and stuff. So why is it so? Because firstly, it is very ground rooted and based on the way what is suited to our body type. When I talk about Indian culture, we have the spices, we have the ingredients, which ensure that we do not only get some taste but also some good nutrients. So let me just throw you a question. If I ask you, just imagine a plate of chow mein before you. So the question would be like, it's so delicious. It has vegetables and stuff. But hold on, you know that Chinese chow mein is not same as the Indian chow mein is. It is the Indian cuisine and the Indian flavor which has made it much suited to our taste buds. The Indian cuisine, the chow mein is like it has a tadka with some spices which makes it suited to our taste buds. It has vinegar, it has some long, it has some red chili which makes it so spicy and so delicious that it cares not only for our stomach fullness but also the taste in its sincerity as compared to other cuisines where it's only just the thing that you need to fill your stomach. Secondly, I believe that Indian cuisine is prepared with much more love and much more concern than other cuisines in the world. When I think about the dal chawal, a simple plate of dal chawal just served to me, it is prepared with much more of steam, much more of love and essence, which is put in by the people to prepare the food. As compared to such Western prepared momos and stuff, which are just steamed by preparing a porridge or something, I think that Indian cuisine possesses much more of warmth, love, and all sorts of ingredients present in its stuff. And last but not the least, the Indian cuisine is just a representative about how diversity we prefer in our thali. Our thali isn't just a concoction of different spices and objects thrown into a place and mixed together. Rather, we savor things like dal, chawal, roti, sabzi, and all together mixed together to ensure that we do not just take food but relish it from all its ends. So I hope that, I justify my end. Over to Toastmaster Harshvardhan.
It was a great table topic speech, Toastmaster Manya. So the next topic, Greta, do you want to go next?
Yes, please.
Okay. So your topic for the day is this. Do you prefer to eat unhealthy or healthy food? Do you prefer to eat unhealthy or healthy food? Guess Greta.
Thank you, Harshvardhan. Basically, we all are emotional beings, but we think we are logical beings. So what my point is here, we think that unhealthy food is not for us biologically, but when we are going to any marriage, when we are in any ceremony, when we are any place, when we are celebrating our birthdays, when we are celebrating any anniversary, we always prefer unhealthy food, which is like more tastier as compared to healthy. But there the point comes, we are emotional beings, but the logical ones. So I personally prefer a combination of healthy and unhealthy. But when I'm trying a different type of food, so definitely I would go for unhealthy food. But I don't consider unhealthy as labeling of that top of food. Why? Because when you're thinking of something, when we are having food, I'm not thinking as a label of healthy and unhealthy, because I'm not that much health conscious, and I'm totally satisfied and I'm blessed with those people who has high metabolism, which means like I can digest stone as well, don't mind. So coming to point, that ways I prefer unhealthy food whenever I'm going outside. I'm trying different cuisine. I'm trying some of the traveling, so I don't have any other option. By the way, when I'm traveling, I can't ask during a train travel that oh, do you have some slice of cucumber? I would prefer healthy food, right? So I have to have some of the bhel or whatever the guy is serving during my travel. So that is why I prefer unhealthy food, so called, but technically I don't label my food as unhealthy or healthy. I label my food as tasty or non-taste. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Greta. It was a great speech. Guess Meru, do you want to go next?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So your topic for today is this. What unhealthy food do you love? What unhealthy food do you love? Guess Merus.
Okay. As guest Giri has told that he would not label the food as unhealthy or healthy, he would label it as tasty or non-tasty. So I will also label my food as tasty or untasty. So I would like my cuisine to be tasty, my food to be tasty, because I love food. I eat food not to live, but uh, actually I prefer food, or you can say I live for food. So so the taste is the important thing for me. And about the unhealthy stuff, so yeah, I eat unhealthy food, or you can say junk food, but uh, in a proper amount, not so much. And what unhealthy food I prefer, I like to challenge myself, or you can say I love uh, testing new foods, uh, trying new food. So I don't have any specific choice, like if I choose chow mein or if I choose momos. If I'll have a bunch of junk food in front of me, I'll eat a little amount of everything. So I don't have any one preference for that. I'll eat everything in my buffet. So thank you.
Thank you, Merus. It was a great speech. Toastmaster Disha, do you want to go next?
She has left the meeting, so probably we can have a guest, Sarthak.
So, guys, Sarthak, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure.
So, your topic is this.
Yeah.
What is your favorite food restaurant and why? What is your favorite food restaurant and why? Guess Sarthak.
What I feel that about my favorite restaurant, there are so many restaurants I explore in this world as well as in my nearby places where I generally go to have. The best quality I love is in the restaurant name called Imli, which is generally there in Rajori Garden, generally there in Pitampura and different places. Now, why I love the food and why I love the ambience and decorum of that area is that the way they present the food, the way they like do the service of that food makes me feel interesting and makes me feel comfortable to go to that restaurant and eat. I remember they give the golgappa, golgappa, they give the golgappa in that roller coaster, kind of that giant wheel. So that makes me feel image that if I want to have golgappa, I would go to that restaurant. And it's not about just presenting the way they are presenting, it's about the way they are like making and giving the taste. I even remember that the way they were presenting their menu in the form of newspaper. So that is the speciality which I didn't able to find in any type of restaurant. And this is, I feel that this restaurant is one of the unique restaurant and one should visit. And what about you, Toastmaster Harshvardhan? Thank you.
So, I will answer this later. First, I will call next person. After completing the session, I will tell. So, Toastmaster Rohit, do you want to go next? Okay. So, all your topic for today is this: if you ban all junk food from the world, but one which it would be. If you could ban all junk food from the world, but one which could it be, Toastmaster Rohit?
That one would be Maggie, I would say, because some people still believe that Maggie is not a junk food, but it depends on the culture and it depends in what sort of environment you have born and brought up. Because for Chinese people, it's very healthy. But for a person who never had it in his or her entire life, it might cause problems, and I have seen such cases. So Maggie would be the first one, and but to be honest, I do not want to ban fast foods. Okay, because somebody said in the meeting also that we are, humans are made to eat all type of stuff. So why to ban? Because a lot of people will hate me if I ban foods. That's it. That's all from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster Harshvardhan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohit. It was a great speech. How many speaker can I call? There is time for 1 or 2 speeches.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So, who want to go next? Toastmaster Aditi Das, do you want to go next?
Okay, sure.
So your topic for today is how cheesy do you like your junk food to be? How cheesy do you like your junk food to be? Toastmaster Aditi Das.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshvardhan. I am not a fan of cheesy things. Um, I would rather prefer peri peri, masala and all, but not cheesy except pizzas. I really like, even with pizzas, I would go for not double burst definitely, which is extremely famous. So about what I would like instead of cheesy, it would be, I think I would prefer pasta and tacos. Even tacos are cheesy, but yeah, mayo is still fine. But yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditi. Can we have the poll for the best table topic speaker? Tech Master, has it been done?
Yes, we can go ahead.
Thank you. It was a great session. Now, over to General Evaluator for evaluating all the session from the TMOD to the table topics, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Harshvardhan. Guys, can you please come on camera because it's been a long time since I've stepped on stage and I would like to have all the people on screen to just have an interaction of face-to-face one. So Mehrush, Arvind, I'm seeing many new faces. So good evening, everyone. Once again, I welcome you all to the general evaluation section. But before we proceed, can we have a huge round of applause, to appreciate Toastmaster Harsh for giving us such random topics on the base of the theme, and secondly, to have some energy. So please, yay. You can unmute yourself and let's have the thunderous round of clap because though it's not a physical meet, let's give the energy a big shout. Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's a generic fact. Like when we clap our hands, it's also beneficial, keeping in mind the health concerns if you are health freak. So keep clapping even after each evaluator steps down or auxiliary role player steps down. Even if you don't like the performance, if you're not even feeling lethargic, let's clap and show that even if we are not giving to someone, we are earning it something for ourselves. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Once again, I welcome you to the general evaluation section. I will be, as a general evaluator, giving my feedback to all the people who have stepped on stage so far. And the procedure for this entire session would be that firstly, I'll call upon the speech evaluators who will be sharing their feedback for the speaker. After which I will be sharing my feedback for the evaluators. And proceeding which we'll be calling upon the auxiliary role players who will be sharing their report. And I will be sharing my input and my feedback for them. And at the end, I'll be giving a feedback for the entire meeting in general, which will be incorporating a feedback for the Toastmaster of the day, the TDM, and the overall quality of the meeting. So this ensures that none of us goes back empty-handed. There is a 360-degree feedback layer in Toastmasters because it said feedback is the breakfast of the champion. Though you're going to have a dinner, I'll ensure that you will have a good dinner because the feedback will make you stronger the next time you come back on stage. So let's get started with the process and ensure that our champions are getting a strong feedback before they go for their dinner party because it's all food, it's dinner, breakfast, lunch, all coming to my mind. Nevertheless, so let's get started for the 3-course meal because I call it firstly the evaluators and the auxiliary role players and then the TTM. So it will be a 3-course feedback for all the 3 players. So can we have the first speech evaluator, that is Toastmaster Purva, who will be sharing her feedback for Toastmaster Ishan's speech. So can we have a huge round of applause to welcome our debutant evaluator? Over to you,
so
Purva.
much. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manya. Utterly, butterly delicious. So the topic itself captivated the audience's interest. Okay, we have all heard this topic in the Amul Butters ad, but what is Toastmaster Ishan going to speak on this topic? So he already got the audience hooked on to the speech and to the topic. The theme of his speech was very well reciprocating with the theme of the meeting, which was food. And since food binds people together, his speech was also binding the theme of the meeting together. The speech was very well framed and well structured. It had a beginning, a body, and an ending with a message, a call for action. He kickstarted the meeting very well by asking a question. He made the audience ponder upon a question like, okay, who all are foodies? And that captivated the audience's interest. He did an extraordinary job with the content, since he said food is love, love is food, which made the audience getting more hooked on to his speech and made the audience to like, get on tenterhooks. Okay, what is he going to speak next? It's about food. He made his speech very interactive by asking questions about the dolma auntie. I don't know if I'm quoting that correct. I'm not a Delhiite, I'm sorry. And he made the audience ruminate again and again, the Delhiites precisely, about the momos and different cuisines. He shared his personal encounter with food and his bad eating habits, and which brought life to the speech. It brought more life because since he shared a personal experience, it brought more life to the speech. He ended the speech with a lesson, a call for action to eat calculatively and to not consider one's body as a dumb ground for junk food. But still, there were some scopes of improvement. Toastmaster Ishan could have taken more pauses when he was transitioning from the start to the body. When he was asking questions, you could have taken some pauses. For the audience to absorb what you said. Like you said, when your friend said, "Bhai, tu itna mota kaise ho gaya?" And then you said, "I was numb." You could have said, "And I was numb." You could have taken a 5-second pause so that the audience knows that, okay, this is the speech is getting serious now. And you said, your speech sort of lacked that action, that call for action, that when you said you joined gym and this time you were rigid, you said it like, I joined gym and this time I was rigid. But it could have been like, I joined gym and I was rigid. Because so that we know that, yeah, you took some tangible actions now. But besides that, you maintained the pause throughout the meeting. The hand gestures were so on point and you did an amazing job. Best of luck for your future speeches. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Purva. Being a debutant evaluator, I think that it was a good performance from your end. Now let's proceed to the next evaluator in round, and that's Toastmaster Aditi. Over to you, Aditi, to evaluate Toastmaster Nishtha's speech.
Thanks, Toastmaster Manya. So talking about the speech literally forced me to think about my relationships of the past. Think about ways how to make my relationships even better. Isn't it? That was for you all. Talking about the positives of the speech. Toastmaster Nishtha is always very clear in communicating the word or in communicating the language. Along with that, my favorites with her speech was the eye contact, the usage of eye contact and gestures, the way she looked in the camera multiple times in the eyes of the audience to convey her emotions, and also usage of gestures while telling her story. You remember the moment when she said 1 year later? That is the way she used her gestures, and it was very perfect. Talking about another favorite point was making sure of the audience awareness, not only starting her speech with a quote and making the audience aware that what is the speech all about, but she also used phrases like, let me repeat for you, love, let me repeat for you, depriving us from the gift of love. And that was a moment, even if for a second I was lost in the story, I was again hooked to the screen to know that what is the speaker speaking ahead. And that is how she used the tool of audience awareness. My most favorite point regarding the speech was the pace she used while she was narrating her story. The pace was really right, and though it was very story was quite emotional, it provoked very sad emotions within us, but yes, that was made even more impactful with the pace which she was delivering her story. Now coming on to my feedback for her to improve on the points on which I would want her to improve are, firstly, when it comes to storytelling, I recommend her to in order to bring some impact to the story, just try to bring some dramatic elements. For example, while you were narrating your story, when your grandmother was really when she was in her last stages, and you were telling about things like you were checking the oxygen meter, so you could have definitely use your gestures a little better, and maybe have something like an oxygen meter, and make that point a little more dramatic, or having the doctor on the video call, so you should have used any tool to do that. So that is the way you could use you could have brought a little more impact to the story. And the other thing was, while you were really standing during your speech, but you would have placed your handset, whatever you were using for connecting to the meeting, at the right level. So this would have given you proper stage space, and you would have moved here and there while narrating your story, and that would have bring more impact. So overall, I like the clarity, the vocal variety, the gestures, but I would want you to improve upon the impact of the storytelling. And with this, I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditi. Now let's proceed with the third evaluator in row, and that's Toastmaster Harshita, who will be evaluating all the table topic speakers we had on stage. Over to you, Harshita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manya. It's indeed wonderful to see as general evaluator after a long time. Now moving on to my role. Firstly, we had Toastmaster Manya as our first table topic speaker. Of course, we all learn from Toastmaster Manya when it comes to table topic. Your topic was related to which cuisine you like the most, and right off the bat you started about the food. The hand gestures were great, the facial expression were there, and the structure of your speech was again great. You talked about chow mein, wonderful words that you used, the chow mein, the tadka, that tastiness that you talked about. So it was great. It was although hard for me to find anything regarding the speech, but one thing that I felt, that the background noise kind of interrupted for us to listen. Maybe for that, whenever you know that somebody is speaking in the background, you put the mic close to your mouth so that we are listening to less outside noise. So that's all I have for Toastmaster Manya, but otherwise it was a great speech. We all learned from you, as I said. Now our second speaker, Toastmaster Rohit. No, I'm so sorry. I missed writing the name. The Toastmaster, sorry. Giriraj. I'm so sorry.
Giriraj.
Yes, Giriraj. I'm so sorry. Yes. So Toastmaster Giriraj, you started right off the bat on the topic that your topic was related to healthy and unhealthy. And I really liked the structure of your speech. You talked about how humans are logical and emotional and how we pick our food. You talked about how you like to eat a little bit unhealthy and the local food whenever you are traveling. You also talked about, you also labeled it as tasty and non-tasty instead of calling it healthy or unhealthy. That's great structure there. One thing I can recommend you to add more vocal variety, since your overall speech was has so much variety. If you could put more vocal variety to it, it could have been more interesting. Otherwise, I enjoyed listening to you. Thank you so much. Now, next up, we have guest Mehrush, Toastmaster Mehrush. And what I really liked about Toastmaster Mehrush's speech, that she connected with the last speaker, which we often do not do, which also told us that she was listening to the last speaker. She connected to the last speaker on her topic, unhealthy, her love for unhealthy food. And she said, I don't want to call it unhealthy. I would call it rather tasty or non-tasty. And she said, I live to eat. What I also liked about her speech is that she was poised and calm throughout. One thing that I would recommend to Toastmaster Merush is regarding the pronunciation. It's food. So all these are the small little things that makes a lot of difference when you are speaking. So try using the right pronunciation. I mean, try looking up on the internet if you are confused about it. You can go that way. And otherwise, I really enjoyed and I really found something new in your speech, that is connecting with the last speaker. Now, next we have Toastmaster Sarthak, and his topic was why and what is his favorite restaurant and why. And right off the bat, he talked about his favorite restaurant. What he also liked is that he took time and created story in his head first, and then he talked about the restaurant. He started with the restaurant, told the name, and then talked by what he liked. He said the newspaper style menu I haven't seen anywhere, and I really love that. What I can recommend here is that bit more confidence whenever you are speaking. Although it's easier said than done, when you are in impromptu speaking, it's very difficult. But if you can add that, it will add one more star to your wonderful speech. Now, quickly, I'm not sure the time limit. I think it was 4 minutes, but I just quickly covered the two more speakers that we have. So we had Toastmaster Rohit. His topic was to ban junk food. And he started by saying that I want to ban Maggie. And he also contradicted the topic. You also never have to agree what the topic is. So first he said Maggie, and then he disagreed that he do not want to ban all the junk food, which was great. You never have to always agree to what the table topic is. That is great. One thing I can recommend is using less of filler words and sound, because even if you have something important to say, if you are using too much filler sounds and words, it makes us feel like whatever you are saying, you are very less confident about it. Using less of filler sounds and word make you sound more confident. So that's my only recommendation, but I am going to ponder upon the fact that we should not eat Maggie that much. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Now, next we had Toastmaster Aditi Das, and cheesy junk food was her topic. What I liked that she said she's not a fan of cheesy food, but still could find a few food that she liked. And she talked about tacos, and she can bear mayos. And what I also liked that she always has very confident voice whenever she speaks. One thing I can recommend is, instead of taking long pauses between while you are speaking in your speech and thinking, instead take first pause before you even speak. Make a story in your head. 2-3 seconds are enough when it comes to table topic to create your story, create the story in your head, and then start speaking. And otherwise, I really enjoyed your speech. Thank you so much. And with that, I conclude my evaluation. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Harshita, for such a comprehensive evaluation for the table topic speakers. Now, can I request the polls for the best evaluator? And I believe that since Harshita just overshot the time limits, I won't think that she would be eligible for voting here. So we can limit to Toastmaster Purva and Toastmaster Aditi. So Tech Master, please ensure that all the polls for the last category are not incorporated here. Let me know once the polls are done. Yeah? Great. All right. So now it's time for me to come to action and share my feedback for the first course, that was the speech evaluators. So before that, can we please come on camera? It feels dull to speak to blank screens and someone having a profile photos, because we are not just profile photos or blank screens. So it's kind of a monologue which I'm going to do. I believe that monologue will take you a long way if you just kind of concentrate for some minutes. Though I'm not a teacher who will give you something, nuggets of wisdom, but I believe that's something which is better than nothing. So starting with Toastmaster Purva. So it was a nascent attempt from Toastmaster Purva at attempting evaluation. So what I really liked her was her firstly the ability to catch all the points. So I believe that it's for the first time speaker who is evaluating a person, catching all the points becomes a problem. But Toastmaster Purva didn't only catch the points of commendation or recommendations, but she also gave certain examples to illustrate well where the speaker did well and where all he needs to improve. So well done on catching the points. Secondly, it was the calm, poised demeanor and the gestures which Toastmaster Purva used in our evaluation. The use of vocabulary to explain wherein the speaker excelled and where there is a scope for improvement did a commendable job. For I could feel that the vocabulary adds a richness to the way you can explore and expand upon what you wish to say in your speech. And lastly, I really appreciate the way you enacted the examples because that just added a layer to a presentation and make it a kind of a speech out of an evaluation, which is a really rare skill. Now, what you can improve upon is firstly, since you are in your nascent stage, please focus upon your time management skills. I being at contest and having lost just because of disqualification, it pinches really hard. So focus on your time management in the sense that you limit the way you expand upon the commendations. So don't just wait for the green card to come up on the screen and then you just suddenly jump to the recommendations. You can limit it to 1 minute 15 seconds or 1 minute 30 seconds to the maximum and then switch over to the recommendations so that at the end you have ample time at hand to comment upon a summary as well as a CRC to complete a kind of a sandwich with the last commendation because I believe you abruptly ended your evaluation because the red card was up. So that's the only thing which you can improve upon. And otherwise, I believe that you are going fantastically and keep on taking the role. Coming to the second evaluator, which was Toastmaster Aditi. So Aditi, I felt that it wasn't a speech, it wasn't an evaluation, but a speech in itself. Like Aditi stood on stage just like a speaker, and she didn't even use the notes, which we are all so much uh, like adept to seeing an evaluator with a hand of notes and just looking the screen and speaking. But rather, she ensured that all the points were there, feeded in her mind, and she spoke out of heart. The examples as well as the illustrations were on the point. The way she elaborated upon the commendations, it was really appreciated from my end. Now, Aditi being a veteran evaluator in this sense, I would just recommend her same thing, that is firstly time management. I believe that she also rushed with the words once when the green card was up to jump to the recommendation. By the end, there was no time left for the last bun to like it's like a evaluation is like a sandwich. You have the bun of combination, then you put in the tikki, the aloo tikki, which is the recommendation, and then the last one we need to close it. So close the bun. Don't just hand over just two pieces here and there. And that's the feedback for all the people who are budding evaluators in the club. And lastly, don't rush with the words. I believe that since you were there on stage, since the beginning till the end, there was a rush with the words, and it made me a bit uncomfortable to catch up with your what you wanted to convey. So keep a bit your pace should be slow so that we can grasp. It's better to have one or two commendations and unlimited number of CNRs so that we can take back more and rather than just catch up with the words which are just being bombarded to us from the screen. I hope this helps you and looking forward to amazing performances for you in the coming meetings as well. Now coming to the table topics evaluator, and it was refreshing to have this role after a long gap. And I believe that all the guests sitting in the room would echo the point that having a TDE enhances our takeaway from the meeting because ensures that each of the 14 people sitting in the room are having some nuggets of wisdom to chew upon in the dinner. So firstly, Toastmaster Harshita, thank you for noting down that actively listening to each and every speaker. Often, many a times when I see the TTEs, they just sit over and they're just so much perplexed about the amount of information they're gathering from six diverse speakers in the span of just 15 minutes. It just kind of makes us numb out. But you were there handling and juggling all the responsibilities as the behind the scenes manager and also listening to the people well. So that was really and beautifully elaborated by the way you repeated what the speakers had said. Secondly, like you are a team player because you, in the sense that you had the feedback for all the people, even if the time overshot, you were there to ensure that people do not go back without a feedback. So that's the kind of leader which we see in you. And thank you for being there and ensuring that you do not just care for just a role, but rather for the meeting and players in general. Now, what you can improve? to ensure that we are giving a feedback to all the people and are not even overshooting the timing. So that's a challenging task. So what I believe is, firstly, one strategy is that you do not just repeat the content of what the speaker said. You can simply say Toastmaster XYZ had the topic about speaking about the best cuisine he or she favors. I like this thing. It was the best thing about the speech was the structure, and one thing you may improve upon is this vocal variety, for instance. So you can have a 1-1 rule, just the gist of the name of the what the speaker spoke about and what is there to improve and what is there he did well. So don't elaborate on what he said because that we already heard in the TTM section. Secondly, what you can do is that you combine the feedback. In case you feel that Toastmaster A and Toastmaster Y had similar kind of feedback to give, you can combine the feedback so that they do have a similar kind of feedback and you're not even wasting your time in going it over again and again. So that's it on how you can improve on the timing part, because that was the only thing I felt that you also felt at the stage. Otherwise, it was a fairly well tried attempt at making sure that everyone goes with the feedback. So that's it for the evaluators. Now let's move to the next course and start with the auxiliary role players. And for that, I would like to call upon stage the person who will add tadka to this monologue, the riddle master, because we've been now popping up like popcorns to answer. And I want everyone to be on unmute and pop up the answers, because riddles are all about having the answers on the first come, first serve basis. So Rohit, over to you. I should get the feel of KBC because you should ask the question just like Amitabh Bachchan does and create the scene. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manya. So I am the riddle master for the day. The first, without wasting any further time, I'm going for the first riddle of the day. So I am fruit. I am a round fruit. I am usually red and I have seed. People think I am a vegetable. What am I?
Tomato.
Wow. I was the only one who didn't know that tomato is a fruit. I used to think that it's a vegetable. Anyways, what kind of fruit is never alone?
What kind of?
Fruit is never alone.
Grapes.
Jackfruit?
Pear, I think.
Yes, there is the answer. Okay, what has an ear but can't hear?
Ear.
Okay, I'm repeating it again. What has an ear but can't hear?
Garnier.
Is it related to food items?
Yes.
Again, pear. I believe.
With potato, I think a part of potato is called
Beer.
The answer is corn.
Answer is?
Corn.
Corn.
Why do you think corn have an ear?
Even I don't know. I'm also confused. I thought you guys will tell me.
No, because of the green leaves. So like the corn is this, and then we see those green leaves.
Our
on the
answer
side.
was better, no
No,
pear.
I don't know. I ain't a farmer here.
No, the
so I
best
don't
was
know.
Garnier.
Okay. The last one is not related to food. So Nanu's mother has 4 kids. Okay. The name of the first kid is 20 cents. Second one is 40 cents. And third one is 60 cents. What is the name of
Nanu. I would say 50 Cent. He's a
Great.
famous singer.
Okay, the last one. What goes from Z to A?
ABC.
Zebra.
Amazon.
zebra.
Ulta
Right.
Amazon is right.
Who said zebra?
Acha, zebra.
Amazon goes from A to Z.
Yeah.
No, Amazon. How does Amazon goes from Z to A?
Doesn't.
Zebra is the right answer, right?
If we come reverse, no, then it can go.
Okay, we will try to make it reverse the next time, Aditi. Zebra is the right answer. Okay, one last. I am a fruit that lies a lot. Hello?
We
We
are
can hear
thinking.
you. We are thinking.
I am a fruit that lies a lot.
I can only think of rasmalai.
Not a fruit.
I know.
Is it food?
Jhutha
Fruit
fruit.
or food?
Fruit.
जूठा जो जूठा हो चुका है.
Aditi's pages.
I think Harshita, you should answer this.
Oh, why Harshita?
Rohit, you can give us hints.
Yeah, hints please.
Yeah, hint में इसमें I can't give you hint because I need to tell the complete answer. Okay, the last two words are
Lychee.
Yes.
Lychee is like
telling lie
lychee.
always.
It's lychee.
I can be red or green, and I grow on a vine. No, not this one. This one is very simple. Yeah, I am a fruit that can be used to sip water.
Coconut.
Bamboo.
Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Bamboo.
Coconut.
I am a fruit that can be used to sip water. And the answer is, any more guesses?
I think
Coconut.
coconut seems right.
Strawberry.
Coconut is not a fruit.
Strawberry.
Yeah, strawberry is the right answer.
Oh.
Straw.
Oh God.
Logics.
I am something yellow but not a light. A citrus fruit that's flavor.
Nibu.
Lemon.
Oh. Yes, lemon is the right answer. Last one. You crave me more than you eat me. People think I am the longest fruit there is. What am I?
Mango.
The mango is not the
Papaya?
longest.
Banana.
No. Any more guesses?
Can you repeat, please?
Okay, you crave me more than you eat me. No, it's carve me. You carve me more than you eat me. People think I am the longest fruit there is. What am I?
Pineapple.
Pumpkin.
No, okay, let me give you the hint. The first word of the fruit is P.
Pineapple.
Well, sounds about right.
Pumpkin.
Yeah,
Papaya.
I said earlier pumpkin. It's on Halloween.
pumpkin is the right answer. All right, guys, I think enough for the day. And over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohit. Now let's go to the next auxiliary role we're in row, and that's Toastmaster Bhupesh as the grammarian. Over to you, Toastmaster Bhupesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manya. So again, guys, I work till 8:30. I'm still logged in, so I have made all the notes here. So I have this one issue that I cannot share my screen, but I have made notes. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 plus 4, 8. There are 8 instances where I have noticed people could have spoken better. So there are 4 usages where they were not grammatically correct per se. However, the way they used the words could have been better. And I noticed 4 times where there were grammatical issues. So first I will talk about usages. So someone said, I label my food as tasty and non-taste. So obviously they might have faltered there, but they could have corrected themselves saying non-tasty. So they said non-taste. Someone said different places and little things. So in Hindi we often talk like alag tarike ke. So but we often tend to just give me a minute. I'm gonna call. I'm sorry, I got a call in between. Okay, we often translate literally, so that's something that we are not supposed to do. So please do not say different places or little things. Then someone said, what effect it would have. I didn't think what effect it would have upon myself. So generally the way it is spoken is that when nobody came forward, I took the test upon myself and completed it. So you could have said, I didn't think what effect it would have upon me. And someone said, I eat till my gut. A better usage could have been, I eat till my stomach hurts, or I eat till my heart's content. About grammar, someone said, my friend asked me how you have gained so much weight. It should have been how you have gained, how I had gained so much weight. So it is about direct and indirect speech. Either you say how I had gained so much weight, or how have you gained so much weight. Then someone said, what a human being do. So they should have said does in place of do. Someone said there are books of people, but they should have said books walking around in form of people. And finally, one thing that I noticed is someone said unhealthy food is more tastier than healthy food. You should have said healthy food is more tasty than healthy food, or unhealthy food is tastier. So you do not say more and tastier together. So because you don't use more with comparative words. So these were my observation. Over to you, Toastmaster Manya. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhupesh. Now I would like to call upon stage our counter for the day, Toastmaster Jagravi. Over to you, Jagravi.
I'll just share my screen. Okay. Okay, so I made a note of all the good usages and all the bad usages of filler sounds, words, and sentences. Harshita did use them, but I think she was already overwhelmed with so many evaluations today. Aditi, it was your first attempt. You did great, but I just used it and you used it a lot too. Then Ishan was actually quite flawless. And I also noted good usage, the way he used well and just, it was very appropriate. Nishta didn't use any and per se, but she did make a lot of clicking sounds in between. Harshvardhan was great. Manya did use some very good filler sentences, which I appreciate. And then Purva was also great. Purva has a way, I couldn't note down everything, but she has a way, everything, all those filler words she used, it all becomes part of a voice modulation. So I really love that. Aditi, again, Aditi Monga was great. And just to take a note of all the ers, I think I should add my name because I just counted, I've used it 6 times in this speech. Bhupesh again said a lot of so. Arvind, I wasn't able to evaluate because I didn't get to hear you. Then Rohit was good. Guest Giriraj was great. Guest Mehrush and Sarthak, you were all good. I think it was your first speech today, so we'll get there. And besides this, I would like to talk about what exactly I mean by good usage. It can be used a lot in corporate settings. It can be used to be diplomatic or to hold the floor or to jump in conversations. This is primarily when you are talking to a boss and you don't want to sound too obtuse. You can use filler words to get your points across. Filler words also sometimes help to emphasize your points and give your audience a moment to digest what you just said. So filler words can be good in that sense, but it's all about balance. You shouldn't overuse them and you should know when to stop. And I think that is it for my presentation. You all did great. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chakravi. Now let's quickly proceed to the last, but never the least, the person who times us all but does not get time himself. That is the timer for the day, Toastmaster Arvind. Over to you, Arvind.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Let me share my screen. So, starting with the speakers, Toastmaster Ishant Taneja and Nishtha clocked 6 minutes 15 seconds and 6 minutes 56 seconds respectively. They were within the limits. And then both the evaluators, they crossed the 3-minute time frame, but were within the limits of that buffer time period of 30 seconds. So both were between the time limits, but the table topic evaluator, Harshita Arora, she took more than the limit was 3 minutes, but she took 5 minutes 53 seconds. Drill Master Rohit went way ahead of 2 minutes. He clocked around 6 minutes 53 seconds. Grammarian Bhupesh took 3 minutes and 1 second, and Jagravi, she just crossed the limit by 1 second, 2 minutes and 31 seconds. So all these 4 people were not able to, they overshot the time limit. Moving on to the table topic speakers. The table topic Toastmaster Manya, she took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Gira, so all of them were within the time limit. So that's all from my side, table topic master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Arvind. Now, can we quickly proceed for the polls till the time I start with my evaluations?
I guess everyone is eliminated.
Yeah, so I believe that except Rohit, because he's a veteran, we can qualify others because they are in their nascent stage and are beginning their journey of Toastmasters. So if Madam President agrees, we can give a green light to Toastmaster Bhupesh and Toastmaster Jagrati. Okay, so Rohit, can you make the necessary amendments? We can avoid voting for Riddle Master. Sorry, Rohit, for being such a strict general evaluator, but I do have to appreciate the norms of the organization we are here with. So you can vote for the remaining 3, and that's our counter, Grammarian, and Timer. So let me know once we are done with the poll. Is it done?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so I'll just quickly give my brief feedback because we are running short of time. So I'll start with our riddle master, that was Toastmaster Rohit. So Rohit, thank you for bringing in riddles which gelled well with the theme of the day, that was food. And I believe that the way you engaged the audience, the questions which people were all enthusiastic, popping up like popcorns with the answer, and they were just taking double guesses as well sometimes. The only thing which I suggest you to improve is firstly, plan your session. I believe that you overshot the time limits, though I believe that the timer cards weren't visible, but still I believe that we can ensure that the number of questions are limited to the theme which we had. So you can ensure that to ensure that your time limit is respected. You bring some brief riddles rather than the elongated ones, so that we have a mixture. You can bring 1 or 2 small riddles and 1 big one, so that the timings as well as the engagement both gets a balance. Secondly, you can fix your camera positioning because I believe that you're looking down. So try to bring it up more to your camera, your face level, and see into the camera lens, because I believe that in your session, your camera was switched off. So I think that having a more of a face-to-face engagement would help you get more of audience support in your session as well. Otherwise, it was encapsulating session because engagement was really nice. Now, proceeding to the second auxiliary role player, that was Grammarian Toastmaster Bhupesh. So the choice of the word as the idiom of the day was good. Secondly, I believe that you were just like a teacher who was teaching us out of his laptop and had so many good instances which you pointed out and also gave us the correct alternative. Thirdly, I believe that you are a beginner in Toastmaster, but the use of hand gestures which you had today in your presentation, in your introduction, I believe that your confidence is already present. You just need to capitalize upon the skills you have inherently built upon. What you can improve upon is that, firstly, don't need to apologize that, sorry, I cannot share my screen. In Toastmasters, we are here to learn the art of speaking, not just the art of presenting. Presentation is just an aid and not the sole medium to present your role. So you can simply start with your with the saying that these are the incorrect usages and this is the correct alternative, so that you can save your time and do not overshoot the limits. Secondly, I believe that you didn't share the number of times the word of the day was used. So keep in mind that also people who had certain good usages of grammar, like not only the word of the day, but some people who use some good words are also highlighted in your report. Because a grammarian is not just like a teacher who points out the mistakes, but also appreciates and backs the people who perform well. So making this would keep your report a mix and masala of everything so that it becomes easy to digest the incorrect uses. Now, coming to our counter geography, you've already received a lot many comments in the chat box for your immaculate presentation. I believe that hard work was clearly evident with the use of Netflix and other kind of series, and making the pop culture in your presentation makes it really encapturing for the audience to focus on the screen. I believe that the presentation was engaging, and moreover, I really like the way you are sitting, like your entire background as well as your vocal variety. Like voice comes out really clearly in the surroundings. So thank you for ensuring that setup in which you are sitting right now. Now, quickly, because we do not have time, I would just say that one thing, that focus less on the presentation. Though this might sound a bit more of an contrary kind of recommendation, it's because I was so enchanted with the use of these characters from the major drama series that I forgot to look on the screen and what piece of advice you really had for me. So the point when you said the good usage of filler words, that was completely a new bring in your report, like how filler words can be good addition in the corporates. So that was a point which you could just focus in by speaking, and presentation is not at all needed for you to ensure that the clarity is reached across. And further feedback, if you need, I'll be there for an offline feedback if you need from me. Now, coming to the timer, that was Toastmaster Arvind. It's been like I'm in Toastmaster for around 3 years, but it's the first time I heard the name of amber cards instead of yellow. So that was quite unique. However, this can be a double-edged sword because many people might not understand this other name of yellow or another genre of yellow. So it's better to stick with all what people are aware of. Secondly, the screen display was clear. Everything was spot on, like on the time you showed the screen. The only feedback for you is that speak a bit more slowly, as it was evident in your introductory report that you kind of rushed with the words. So that was kind of brief feedback. Now, quickly jumping to the polls for the best role player. Can we have the polls, please? The tech master. Okay, for the best role player of the evening. Okay. So in the interest of time, I'll just carry on with my one line of feedback for the TMOD and TTM. So TMOD Toastmaster Aditi, keep in mind it was your debut attempt at TMOD. It was immaculately designed. The clear presentation, the way you sat, the way you presented, the way the audience engaged, the way you asked the questions and ensured that people were not sleeping in the session but actually awake and asking them questions is the best way to ensure that the audience is engaged and performing while you are there on stage. Secondly, you shared the stories about your everyday life to make us connect a bit earlier more. Now, the only feedback I have for you is that I felt that the ending to your team out section was quite abrupt. Like in your introductory message, which you send across in the group, you also had to talk about the mood and all the different genres which you could have touched. So, giving a good conclusive feedback, like what I can take away from the session, that can be incorporated in your session, because I felt that it had a much more of a conversatory kind of an session rather than a takeaway. So a takeaway can be like a cherry on the cake next time. Now coming to TTM, that was Toastmaster Harshvardhan. I think that it was a well planned table topic because it was like the way he called one after the other people, we didn't even have the time to just raise our hands. So that was the kind of abruptness we had to experience actually in table topics. So that was quite good. He related to the theme with the choice of topics, which gelled well. And moreover, you appreciated the people when they left the stage and repeated the topic for them to hear clearly. So all the things necessary which were covered. The only recommendation I have is that it's not always good to have such a rapid fire for people to just jump on, because even I just kept on stage and left on it from the topic. So give time people to also volunteer themselves to come up on the stage. Next, I believe that you can manage a bit more on your presentation. That is in sense, I believe that the virtual background is making your face appear a bit dark. So remove the virtual background. It's not needed always in the meetings in case it's hampering with your overall presentation. So this might make your face a bit appear a bit more happening, like your screen a bit more presentable. Yes, that's a bit better. Okay, so with this, I sum up my extended general evaluation section and hand over the stage to our Madam President, Toastmaster Harshita Arora.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manya, for a wonderful general evaluation. It's been a long time hearing you as a general evaluator, so it was definitely a good time for me to learn. So thank you so much for that. Now, I want to thank Toastmaster Rohit for taking the backup role for the Riddle Master, and you did a great job. You kept everybody engaged. So thank you so much. And now, time for our feedback. Do we have, yes, we have our Ranveer Singh in the house with the kind of light setting that you have. Nobody can guess you are somebody else. Every time I look at you, I honestly, I'm like, oh, okay, we have somebody at the meeting. So let's have a quick feedback from you. Anything that you'd like to tell us, how something good or maybe something we can improve upon?
See, basically, I'm a nascent Toastmaster in this field. So I have joined a couple of meetings only, but I love the table topic session throughout the meeting. And in this particular table topic, I really appreciate that the people are there who are giving feedback to the guest as well. Usually they consider like table topic just a small topic and they move on. So here is a very good takeaway from your club that we should also give feedbacks to the guests who are joining for the first time and they are having only a couple of minutes to speak up. And a suggestion, what I would say, like in some of the clubs I have seen, when speaker is speaking, so we pin the speaker particularly on the Zoom, and at the same time we pin the timer slot and parallel with the positioning of the rest of the people who are joining. So a speaker who is speaking, he can see the timing parallel with the audience. So that makes it more comfortable for the speaker to connect with the audience when he is cracking jokes or when he taking pause, like this kind of things. So these are the two feedbacks from my side. But I really enjoyed myself here being. Maybe I'll join next time as well. Thank you.
Yes, we would love to host you again. And thank you so much for that amazing feedback. We can definitely look into it to implement from the next time. I saw in one meeting that somebody raised their hand virtually so that they are pinned throughout the meeting because they were playing the role of the timer. This is something that we can also include in our meeting. So thank you so much for that wonderful feedback. And now it's time for the awards. Let's see who won the awards. First, we'll see for the auxiliary role player, the pillars of the meeting. And we had one elimination for our Riddle Master, but then we had our grammarian, our counter and timer. Toastmaster Bhupesh was grammarian, our counter was Jagdavi, and Toastmaster Arvind was the timer. Any guesses? Who won this role?
Arvind and Jagravi, both were good.
Okay.
And even Bhupesh, anyone can win.
Jagravi threats with Walter White every time. So I don't want to die, so...
Every time
Okay,
Jagdavi comes on stage, she's out there giving her best.
Well prepared speaker.
She's on a streak, I guess.
Let's see. She's the next one after Toastmaster Aditi to collect all the certificates from every meeting. It's Toastmaster Jagdavi. Congratulations. Great job done, Toastmaster Jagdavi. I hope we hear your icebreakers soon, now that you are ready for the next jump. Now, let's see who is the best table topic speaker. Any guesses?
Do we need to guess?
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to guess? He just comes here for
there were
that.
definitely so many good speakers. Our guests spoke really well in the table topic. So I definitely am vouching for many. Let's see who won this. Toastmaster Manya. Every time. Great. But then Toastmaster Manya definitely gives a direction to all the coming table topic speaker whenever she takes the first on table topic. So great job there. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manya. We all are learning from you. And now next we have best evaluators. We had two evaluators, Toastmaster Purva, debutant, and then we had Toastmaster Aditi Monga, serial winner. And then there was me as well, but then I was eliminated because of the time limit I crossed, and I crossed it with good margin. Any guesses?
I'll vouch for my evaluator.
Okay. Toastmaster Purva.
Yes, she is next Manya Jai Singhani.
Wow, that's a great compliment to receive. Let's see who won this. Who won this? Okay, Toastmaster Purva. Congratulations, Toastmaster.
I was so not expecting to win against Aditi.
But this is great. See, you are on a good start. Amazing. Now let's see who is the best role player for today. We had TMOD as Toastmaster Aditi was the Toastmaster of the day. Then we had Toastmaster Harshvardhan as our table topic speaker. And then we had Toastmaster Manya as our journal evaluator. Okay, which was our favorite section? Anybody, for all of you? I mean, if you want to talk.
I really enjoyed the table topic session.
Great. It's same. I enjoyed the table topic very much. All right, I hear the clock ticking. Let's see who won this. Great, congratulations to Master Manya. It was a wonderful general evaluation. Now coming to the best speaker. Any guesses? Toastmaster Ishan or Toastmaster Nishtha? This was a tough competition. All right.
Team utterly buttery delicious.
Amul.
Okay, let's see. Toastmaster Ishan, utterly buttery delicious.
This was a very close fight. You just won it.
Yeah, Nishtha's speech was very good. I was actually scared that I might lose. And this was a good chance.
This was great. And to Giriraj, because you're joining us for the first time, we end our meeting with our tagline. Now, Toastmaster Aditi had to leave, and so I will give it to our best speaker of the day, Toastmaster Ishan, to say our tagline, and we'll repeat, and then that's how we close our meetings.
So before that, I would request everyone to please be on camera.
Yes, please. Just it's last minute of our meeting.
I can't see Manya and Nishtha. We aren't starting without you both.
Manya is just about to go out.
No problem. No
Yeah,
problem.
I just jumped in for this photo. Otherwise, I would have just stayed on my laptop.
So, for all the people who don't know, we end our meets with in TMSL. We don't want our champions to walk back home. We want them to fly back home. So, at 3 to 1, you all have to repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. In TMSL, we want our champions to walk back home. We want them to fly back
home. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying till the end of the meeting. I wish you have a great Friday and a great weekend, and see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No, oh